everybody. We will continue with our live session that we were having with Chandrika. I will quickly invite her so that we can continue our discussion. So we are here for a design reflection series where we have with us a very special guest, which is architect Chandrika Sahay from Meraki Dezine. She would be joining us, and we will be discussing about her journey into design and architecture, and we will also be talking about innovative glass applications in interior space. So let's see what she has to share with us. We will have architect Chandrika Sahay join us with us. I think she's here.
Hi, Iman.
Yeah. Hi. I think we lost you somewhere. So we'll continue from where we were talking about your design philosophy.
As you say, so design philosophy, okay. So design philosophy, I think, has been evolving with the time and with every project that we do. One of the core things that I think when we look back, I think design reflections, when we look back at our work, are some of the three pillars that we found at Meraki Design. One, what we call cognitive design, where we work with how the space impacts the end user at emotionally and functionally at every level. I think COVID has now made a lot of people realize that, but we've been doing it way back from then. The other is a lot of sustainable work that we do with sustainable design, and we work with a lot of local crafts and artists, which we integrate into our project. But what I was talking also earlier about was when you were asking the moment in architecture as to what defined us or helped us, take a milestone thing. I think, like I mentioned earlier, that every project has added to our growth in some way or the other. It has given us, and we've given something to every project, and it's been a kind of a much learning with each. But one of the very crucial, which I would say, since we're talking about glass usage in various spaces, was when I did my first healthcare project. So we had been doing a lot of hospitality projects, hotels, resorts, restaurants, where a lot of emphasis is given to the interiors of the building forms and the whole appeal of it, because that's a lot of, it adds to the brand value. And when I did my first healthcare, if I just looked around what the other, if I did a case study, the other kind of healthcare spaces, there's a very stark difference to what the architecture or the interiors would be. And I thought to myself, why is that? When you go to a restaurant, even though the food is the hero, the space we design is Instagrammable, right? People go and it's the excuse me, the ambience and the food that gives that experience, and that's what the brand adds to the brand value and the brand does successfully. As when you look at an office space, be it Google's office, though the hero is the work they do, the software work, but the space is designed for employee efficiency, that you want the teams to want to come back and be in that space, right? You have gyms coming, you've got sleeping pods happening, you've got all kind of things coming into an office space. But when you look at a healthcare space, it was, even though the doctors are the hero, the space relatively is bland, right? If you close your eyes and you look at it, you will see white walls, stainless steel waiting chair, and you see some printed artwork. And even though right behind me is a white wall and printed artwork, so that's when I thought to myself, why is that? And how, and especially in healthcare spaces, a person doesn't go by choice. He goes by need. And goes repeatedly by need. And I said, okay, I can't save the lives, but as a designer, how can we make that experience for that patient or the attendants a little ease it? How can it be something that they don't dread it so much, if not look forward to it? And that moment when I said, okay, let's design these spaces where it could be, that's what you call cognitive design, that it could leave a positive impact on the person coming there.
Yeah.
So that is one of our moments that kind of defined our philosophy of design.
Right, right. Absolutely good to know that, because I think very less people talk about healthcare and specifically have an expertise in healthcare, because I think it's just considered and given that it doesn't have much scope of design. So, people kind of stay away from those spaces. It will be very interesting to know more. Okay, so, talking about balancing this demanding profession that we have with your personal life, you know that it can be challenging.
Yes.
So how do you really find a balance between, creative work and even like a personal well-being?
Oh, it's a very interesting question, because like I mentioned earlier, I was working in company. It was a dream job to be working in those firms. Projects came, we did work everywhere. I actually started my own firm because I had my kids, and I was a mompreneur.
Yeah.
Wanted to have time to be around them. And ironically, today I don't have much time to be around them. I'm always walking late back from work. So it is a constant struggle and a juggling of things. But I think one of the things that I have done is that when I'm at work, I'm completely here. And when I'm at home or when I'm with them, I'm completely with them. So that I can be my best where I am, rather than trying to multitask, between this here and there. I kind of zone out that way. So I'm hoping I'm doing what best I can.
Absolutely. We know you're professional, and I think you're best at that. We'll hopefully ask your kids one day as well that what they think.
What
But
they say.
Absolutely. So anyway, let's move on to talking about glass now. And since that's what we are here for, and we would love to have your expertise come into play, and where we would want to talk about innovative glass applications, which is our topic and theme for today, specifically in contemporary interior design space. So, we've always known about, glass to be, known as a window dressing, and it can be used in any kind of, furniture or flooring or wall partitions. But, it has actually evolved as like a very dynamic substance. So I would want to know from you specifically that how do you envision the role of glass in a transformation, specifically, shaping the present day interior spaces?
Oh, it is. I think it has impacted the entire architectural vocabulary big time. Big time. I can tell you what we see, the skyline of cities like Gurgaon and Bombay is because of how glass has come in as such a huge and a still versatile material in the field. So since it's come, it of course started with, as you mentioned, window dressing and for doors. And today you have them, and we are using them in partitioning, in furniture, in I think anything and everything. Cupboards, we're having such interesting. Now you've got sandwich, you've got cane sandwich between glass, and you have shutters out of it. The kitchens have completely transformed with lacquered glass, with kind of amazing colors that come into it. So glass has seeped in as a material into anything and everything. I think there is, like you mentioned, flooring, blockwork, and the lovely skylight that you have behind you. It's glass that's done it all for us.
Right, absolutely. So, can you just probably share a project with us which has inventive use of glass? Because we obviously know about doors and windows, but we would love to know where you kind of share one of your projects and tell us about the expanse and how innovatively it was used there.
So, as now space is getting tighter and tighter. So when we do a lot of commercial projects, and like I mentioned, diagnostic centers and healthcare spaces, space is getting more narrower and getting more vertical. And we have been turning towards glass partitions a lot. It's so hygienic, easy to clean, easy to maintain. They look lighter. They make the whole space so much more aerial. And now with aluminum, slimline frames, they can be installed, and they take such less space compared to other partition systems. and they still, because there's so many different textures in the standard glass, you can get that opaqueness or the translucency you need in the space. So we have been using them in like I mentioned, diagnostic center, which is there, which is, it's a six-floor building and it's narrow. So we are using a lot of glass over there.
Right. Okay. So, like that, glass kind of partitions well, but yet, kind of gives us that openness. So, and even it adds to the fluidity, specifically in an interior space. So, how do you leverage this quality to enhance the overall spatial experience that, an individual can experience specifically in your design? So, what is the application process that you can guide us through, specifically where we really want this fluidity to come and play?
If I understood correct, you're asking how does the glass add to the fluidity of space, the flow of spaces, or maybe...
Right. And specifically, like how you've installed a glass specifically in a space where it required that kind of openness and fluidity.
So, being in North India, since we are based out of Gurgaon, our office, and we do a lot of projects up north, the climate here is a very composite climate, right? We have very hot summers and very cold winters. You are dependent on air conditioners in summers and heaters in the winters. So unlike probably in Kerala where you've got, or Sri Lanka, you've got Jeffrey Baba's work and courtyards and the spaces, and you can just walk in and walk out. Here in North India, we need to buffer in the heat and the cold, but yet you have that visual connectivity. And I think here in again North, you have greenery around you. You have space comparatively to, let's say, Bombay or someplace like that, where you can let the nature or the outdoor and indoor merge at many points, especially when we farmhouses or we're doing some kind of, a commercial space of the terrace, the penthouse or terraces and all. I work with a lot of skylights, and we've done very interesting skylights where the sloping room comes down to becoming a window and it's frameless looking. We've done, a lot of that fluidity from the outside to the inside, we just merge it. And glass is such a medium here that really, really helps us do that. It keeps the temperature control and lets the visual and the light in.
Right. So actually, like, you're talking about skylights. So now if you can also share an interesting aspect of how glass can share dual purpose, where it kind of adds to the design, contributes to the visual appeal also, but also the functional element.
Very much. And now so any kind of DTU glass, etc., it helps insulate the noise and there is a distinct temperature difference between the outside and the inside, which is needed, like I said, in North India with the composite climate.
Right, absolutely. And when we talk about glass, we also talk about sometimes, there's a myth that people say that it doesn't texture or doesn't add to the depth of a space. But I want to know what kind of materials that it can work with, where these factors are taken care of, because I think personally myth that glass doesn't.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you to repeat that question. Sorry, Mani, I'm going to ask you to repeat that question. Your voice is breaking in between. I couldn't get you completely.
Sure. So, it's a myth where you hear about glass not adding the texture and the depth of a space. So I want you to share, if you can actually elaborate on that, talking about how glass can add to the texture and the depth of a space.
Absolutely. I mean, today, like I said, my gosh, glass is one of such a most versatile material, and every day there's so many new textures coming in. In fact, I have some right here. You've got these various textures coming in. You've got fluted glass coming in, which is making big waves in materials. You've got these kind of, textures coming in on a mirrored surface. You've got lacquered glass bringing in so much colors. I mean, the list is endless. And we have literally been playing with this along with metal trims, along with even wood, and wood itself is so versatile. And when you've got such materials coming together, then it's endless possibilities. It's endless possibility. And for creative people, you can just have your way in so many ways over here.
Right. Absolutely. So specifically glass installations and its involvement in decor is
Yeah.
prominent. So, when we talk about design specifically, do you feel that sustainability is another parameter that comes into play when we use? So, how do you, use glass sustainability?
Uh, you were asking about stability of glass. Have I got that right?
Sustainability.
Sustainability. Oh my God. Again, like I mentioned DQ earlier, right? So when we here
Right.
have this temperature difference and we have to keep our buildings warm during the winters and cool during the summers. Um, and we earlier we used to have these nice thick insulated walls, which of course now with space have all come down to 9 to 6 inches block work and things. Uh, this glass gives us an option to come up with a much more slimmer option of partitioning. It has the DGU, so it insulates, it's air insulation. It is helping us a lot in our temperature controls.
Right, right, right. Okay. So, talking about technological advancements as well, since sustainability is a very, deep element that glass aids to, but also talking about technology and how technology is also an ever evolving process that, keeps evolving with, and even other materials for that matter. So, how has, according to you, these changes influence your when it comes to designing, and also your when it comes to using cutting edge design applications? Like, how do you know about these applications?
So yeah, technology seeps into anything and everything we do today. You and I are here on the Insta Live thanks to tech. But
Yeah,
so tech has of course made huge impacts in the way we design, the kind of the tools that are now
yeah,
available in designing process. I mean, gone are the days of manual drafting. From there to the kind of 3Ds and the communications that are happening. Today you can be sitting here doing projects all over the world, and it all
right.
runs and you can monitor them all over the world. You have now augmented reality goggles and you can show your clients
Yeah,
the kind of projects we have them here in our office. They can stand in and immersively see the whole 3D, whether it's on site
yeah,
here. So technology has really, really come a long way. It's helped. It's basically quickened or fastened and cleared the communication between the architect and the client. I think that has been one of the
absolutely.
biggest things of technology coming in, because technical drawings not everybody can read, but through these tools, the client knows what the space is going to look like before it hits the client.
Right,
And even on the site itself,
right.
of course, technology is not just in the construction methodologies and the tools that they're there, but even our contractors now can see the 3Ds and know what is to happen, what is there, with what they have to build. So technology in design
Right.
has made big waves. And I think today when you have all this laser cutting and you have all these, again, coming into construction and build, has widened our scope to design and how to use things. I mean, you've got 3D printed houses coming up and all. So yeah, tech is everywhere.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. We know what it holds for us, but I think it's an evolving journey for everybody, and it's always good that we learn and we
We
grow
have
and
to
keep
evolve. We
going
all
further.
have to evolve, right? So we all have to keep up with this, and it's
Right.
good. It's always good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, talking about technological practice, talking about design of glass, about innovative practices of glass, I would also know from you, like, what has been your time moment? We are talking about glass, so reflection today. Anywhere where you that this is my moment, you know, kind of tells me that this is my moment of the entire span of work that you've done till now. Have you achieved that? Have you got that yet?
Well, I think yes. Tough question. Design. When we always doing a project, I think every project at the start of it is so exciting and you want to do a lot more to it. When you finish a project, also there is the sense of gratification of that you've done. When the client uses it, is happy. So there are many moments, but then at the same time, the next day, okay, I could have done better, and then you get on to the next one. So continuous churn. You have those moments when you're happy and you're satisfied, you're in the right place, in the right time, doing the right things, but yet you want to yearn to do more, you want to grow more, learn more, and do more. I think that's always there.
Right. Absolutely. And I think that's best that you get, you know. So, let's know from you. The last question is basically successful architect. What advice would you to young architects and designers?
Ooh, lots. First and foremost, love what you do. If you love what you do, everything will fall into place. Because you will have that zest to come up every morning, to get onto the site, to get on the projects. Because it is a creative field, but it's also a hard field. You will be on site, you will be dealing with multiple times, pressure, this, that. But if you love what you do, everything will just fall into place. I mean, just that. Put your heart and
Right.
soul into it. Keep learning, keep growing.
Right. Thank you for that. And I think it would be lovely for have this quick chat with you.
Thank you
How you
so
do
much for
project.
having me. It's such a pleasure to have, and the question you asked really got me reflecting a bit on myself. Thank you so much, and I hope our listeners and our architecture enthusiasts have enjoyed the session.
Absolutely. Joining in. Thank you everybody for joining in this section where we bring top designers for you to share their expertise. And thank you for joining in to that class.